Early because no matter where you are in your life, no matter what your personality is, I'm gonna help you come out and represent that individual to your highest and your truest expression of yourself. So I believe that, there's only one you, there's only one me. So we have to find a way to display those things that we want to display in this world. And you have something to offer that nobody else can offer. So I think that sometimes having someone that can encourage you in those areas and also give you direction based on their experiences, just to be 100% honest about those things with you and also give you direction without holding back, I think is a big opportunity for you to be able to express being along with a team that's going to help you get where you want to be. I think choosing Demetrius early and experiencing the deal they experience, it has a representation of resilience. A lot of people are not transparent about the things they go through because everybody want to give you the perception that they're all good. The reality is we're all messed up people striving to become better. And so because we always are in that place of striving to become better, I think it's a beautiful thing when you can be authentic and be honest and be 100% you. Man, being me is like right now, like just walking in my beautiful home. My wife and I, we worked real hard to get to this point. I don't take it for granted, man, just being grateful. Being grateful for where you are right now and also being humble enough to learn more about how you can get to where you want to be. So I think that just being you just means just being honest, having integrity, and being able to respect and honor what God has given you and the people that He's sending your path to help share it with you.
Good day. Everything still a go for the night? Come on. Man, my truck just stopped again. Yeah, I know I need a new one. I tried, man. My credit just is horrible. Well, I'm headed to the bus stop.
We are here to improve your credit so that you can get the things you need and want in life.
I need help with my credit. It's been one of those weeks. Wish me luck on my ride to work.
Our team at We Raise Credit can help you get the car you need. We Raise Credit.
I allowed some people in my company to falsify information because I thought I had enough money to be able to cover all this stuff if something didn't go right. And when things went wrong, how many of y'all know it goes wrong? I ended up losing everything. I got sentenced to 17 years, did 4.5 years in prison. I came home in 2014 with nothing. I lost my family. I lost my covenant with God. They had to move back to Louisiana and start living a life that I had taught them different about. I had humiliated my opportunity to be the leader that I was. And all I did, guys, was turn my head the other way and not take care of the responsibility of what was in front of me. But God had a plan for me. He wanted me to learn a valuable lesson because He had more than millions inside of me. I had $15 million and $60 million in real estate. Now all of a sudden, all that's gone. He taught me in a real sudden way that you make one wrong move and take your eyes off me, son, because I gave you all this, I'll take it from you. I get emotional thinking about it. I had to lose everything to gain everything. And now I stand before you, back in the millions. I got a beautiful wife that loves me. All my kids alive. I got grandchildren that love and admire me. And I got an opportunity to speak my truth to my people. And if He can do it for me, He can do it for you. No excuses.
Welcome to the D Early Experience Virtual Show. I am yours truly, your host, Demetrius Early, and thank you guys so much for tuning in. So right now, I want you to take time out and press that button. I want you to like, comment, and share, and tag, okay? So listen, we have a phenomenal guest coming in tonight. We're going to be talking about entrepreneurship. And listen, I am super excited just to be able to bring to you information that I know that's going to make you a better person. Our goal here on the D Early Experience Virtual Show is to help you get to your next level. And that's what we're going to do, because I'm your next level guy. Listen, we have a few things that I want you to take out. I want you to go on our social media, and I want you to follow me. I want you to go to Facebook at D Early Experience, Instagram at D Early Experience, Twitter at Demetrius_Early, YouTube, Demetrius Early, TikTok at D Early Experience, LinkedIn, Demetrius Early, and our website is dearlyexperience.com. So yes, share, like, tag. Hey, listen, and go and listen. Let's interact with each other tonight. Okay, this show is for us. I also want you guys to know that I do have a book that's out. I co-authored a book with Brian Tracy, and it's called Driven. It tells you a good story about how I got started, a little bit about my testimony, and how God has blessed me. And we're also going to be giving away some cash this evening. So hey, type your email into the chat and give yourself the opportunity to win some cash tonight. So listen, also, I have a radio talk show. I'm a host with my wife, my lovely wife, Katrina Earle. I love you, baby. Make Me Moment Empowerment is our nonprofit organization, and we're on 102.9 FM on Sunday mornings at 11 a.m. So please tune in and check us out. And just super excited about tonight. Guys, I'm going to tell you something. You know, it's very important that we find ways to better ourselves. So I know if you're on this show watching us tonight, that you're someone that's striving to become better. And so we thank you guys again for tuning in and being here with us. Because how you do anything is how you do everything. And success is defined based on what your goals and your dreams are, and you being willing to put the action behind those goals and dreams and make them a reality. So our goal is to inspire you, educate you, and give you some information that can really take you to the next level. Listen, I also want to tell you guys a little bit about me. I'm also a public speaker. Okay, I'm a public speaker. So, you know, if you need someone to come in and inspire, educate, and take you to that next level and give you that boost you need, hey, please go on my site, check us out, and you can book Demetrius Early for any speaking engagement, okay? Also, I have a financial literacy class. I have a course that we teach as well. It's an 8-week course. And I'm also a mentor. You know, I'm also a coach. And so we educate people and help them get to their next level. And we also own a company that helps people with their business credit and show them how to get funded. So if you need help with your personal credit and your business credit and want to understand the relationship between the two and how to get to that next level, hey, Advanced Business Consultants is the name of my company. The D Early Experience can help you get there, okay? So listen, again, check us out on social media. Follow us. We're here for you. We want to help you get to that next level. And so right now, if you're out there, please, everybody, go into the chat and type in where you're from. So I can, hey, let's send some shout outs to each other right now. Let's interact with each other right now and see, hey, where you guys at? Like, we got Texas, we got Louisiana, we got Georgia. I know we got Michigan in the building. So I'm excited to have, man, my awesome guest, man. She's an entrepreneur. She's broken records, guys, and she's doing some phenomenal things in her industry. And man, I met this young lady, and she just truly inspired me in so many ways, so many levels, because she's making a difference in her community, the kind of difference that I want to make in my community. And we all should be collaborating and coming together to make in our communities. So yes, if you want to hit us up, you want to book us, you want to get with us, go to info@dearlyexperience.com, or you can call us at 1-888-276-7696. That's 1-888-276-7696. So right now, oh, there we go. What's up, Demetrius Early Jr.? That's my son. That's my man. He out there in Houston, Texas. Hey, don't forget about Louisiana. I like that, young man. You got residence in both places, so I appreciate you. How you doing, son? Anybody else out there? Where you at? Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, Michigan? Where y'all at? Y'all say something to us in the chat. This is our show. Oh, we got ATL in the building.
How you doing, Atlanta? I see you out there. I see you out there. So yeah, man, we're excited. We want to take this thing to a whole nother level. We want to help inspire people all over the globe. So we're excited about having a platform that can reach out and help individuals, okay? So without further ado, I want to introduce you guys to a young lady. Her name is Miss Lela Harvey. She's amazing. All right, she's blessing us all the way from Michigan tonight. They're snowed in out there. I keep telling Lela, listen, you need to go come down south so you got to worry about being snowed in. But you know what? She likes this. I guess she likes the snow. But at the end of the day, guys, listen, she's a phenomenal entrepreneur. She's blazing trails, guys. And she's been in our industry for quite some time. But I'm not going to tell her story for her. I'm just going to do her the justice to say, listen, I'm super excited to have someone that is phenomenal as you on our show, Lela. And thank you so much for being with us tonight and taking time out so we can share and bless some people. So without further ado, I'm bringing to you guys a good drum roll introduction for our wonderful and awesome guest, the CEO of Village Action Network, Miss Lela Harvey. Yay! How you doing?
Thank you. You know what? Thank you for the introduction. I greatly appreciate it. And I was actually moved by your opening as well as your testimony. And so it is people like yourself that is going to jumpstart communities and move them with the energy that you have. And so it is, again, a blessing to be here and on your show. So thank you. I am humbled. I am very humbled.
Thank you so much. So Lela, listen, I need you to tell us a little bit about who you are, where you're from, and what you do and why you do what you do.
Oh, gosh. I am actually a native of the city of Flint. My love is the city of Flint. I am blessed to have 4 sons, 3 which live on the west side of the country, and 1 who's here temporarily, but he also lives on the west side of the country as well. So blessed to have 4 great sons who will not live in the cold, Mr. Early anymore. They won't even visit me in the summer, in the wintertime anymore. But because of my love for the city of Flint, and because of my foundational makeup, which is I come from 3 generations of entrepreneur. My grandfather has never worked for anyone. My father has never worked for anyone. And I have 8 of us all together. And of the 8, 5 of us have never worked for anyone. So we are entrepreneurs by nature, right? And even my sons, from graduating from college, and I told them, I wish I had known before I spent all that money that you wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't have to spend the money, but they do have the degrees now. And fortunately for us, that is in their blood, and they are entrepreneurs as well. Flint is my hometown. It is a place that cultivated me. And the beauty about being in the city of Flint is that I believe in giving back. I carry the adage of the African spirit in terms of when a community cultivates us, then everybody cannot leave it, because if we do, we leave it barren. And so myself and my partner and other individuals wanted to dedicate themselves to the city of Flint. Why the city of Flint, you ask? Because it is the place that cultivated me. And when you think about it being one of the poorest cities in America, when you think about its journey, being the 3rd most racist city in America, when you think about the city of Flint having more abandoned homes than any city in America, it having more charter schools than any city in America. Most people don't know that. Even the District of Beecher, which is probably about 5 miles from Flint that I grew up in, having the highest divorce rate in America. When you think about that, you want to dedicate yourself to taking care, because charity starts at home, taking care of home first. And so I've had the opportunity to go all over the world and had the opportunity actually to develop anywhere I wanted to. But charity starts at home first. And so because I am an entrepreneur by nature, my partner and I teamed up, and we wanted to be able to provide for people in our community an opportunity of moving them from what I call apartments, right? And they've changed the name of apartments now, right? They call it affordable housing. It is still an apartment. And I have a motto that I live by: poor people cannot afford to rent at all.
Absolutely.
And so, yes. And so how I really got started is that privileged to work hard, to have more than the next person, being in a position to have powerhouses and brain trust around me. We needed to answer the question is, how do we mitigate or eradicate gentrification? And so I like to give people a true perspective of gentrification, which is, we throw that word around loosely, but gentrification is the process of taking a community and making it middle class. But we never make the individuals middle class, right? We displace them and move them out. Yes. And so we wanted to be able to answer that question. We also wanted to answer the question is, how do we take a single mother who works 3 part-time jobs, who makes about $40,000 a year, who's now a single mother, and she has 4 or 5 children? How do we get her to move out of transit apartments, again, called affordable housing, and get her into a home that is her, to create economic independence, as well as some wealth building in comparison to her income levels, starting where she is, helping and meeting her in the road where she is. So we had to be able to answer those questions. And our team got together and said, let's answer these questions. And that is how we formed, which was first called Operation Unification, but is now called Village Action Network, because we took 3 powerhouse organizations and merged them together. And I do serve today as the CEO and president of all of those. We have been afforded the opportunity to put 168 families into homes. We were the first African-American Chodo in the city of Flint, and Flint was established in 1855. And we became an African-American Chodo in the year of 2008. And a Chodo is a certified housing authority through HUD that has the opportunity to execute on its own. It doesn't have to be told what to do, but it has the authority to execute just as HUD does. And so we became that example in the city of Flint. And that kind of teed off a whole lot of folk. But we were still, yes, it did, because remember I said we live in the 3rd most racist city in America, right?
Right.
And because my partner and I became the first African-American Chodo in the city of Flint, when Flint was predominantly 70 or 80%, tells you a whole lot, right? And so I don't think we were the best developers or the best contractors. I think that we had the wherewithal and the financial resources to mitigate through. And also when we would go to the table and the bonding for white counterparts would be $1 million for bond, and we would have to bring $10 million to the table. And so we have done that. We have done that to make sure we had successes and to get into the game, to allow African-American contractors who had never worked in a very long time the opportunity to build their companies, as well as answering the question of putting that single mother into home ownership.
Absolutely. So what we're going to do right now, thank you so much for that intro. We're going to go to a commercial break, and we'll be right back after these messages so we can get right into this interview to learn so much from this phenomenal guest, Ms. Lela.
Good day. Everything still a go for the night? Come on. Man, my truck just stopped again. Yeah, I know I need a new one. I tried, man. My credit just is horrible. Well, I'm headed to the bus stop.
We are here to improve your credit so that you can get the things you need and want in life.
I need help with my credit. It's been one of those weeks. Wish me luck on my ride to work.
Our team at We Raise Credit can help you get the car you need. We Raise Credit.
We are back with the phenomenal Miss Lela Harvey. Listen, I'm yours truly, Demetrius Early. I'm so excited to be able to meet your acquaintance this evening on the D Early Experience Virtual Show. And listen, all the way from Flint, Michigan, we have Miss Lela Harvey. She's blazing the trail. The name of her company, she's the CEO of Village Action Network. And these guys are doing phenomenal things in their community. And so I want to bring her on so we can learn some things about things that we can do to better our community, right? So I'm sure that no matter what city or state that you're in, there's somewhere like Flint
There's somewhere like Shreveport, Louisiana. So we all have a lot in common. We just don't realize it sometimes. But behind the scenes, the work that you're doing, Lela, is remarkable, is outstanding. And I'm so excited to have you on board. And so I want to get into some questions that I want to ask, because the type of our show this evening is about entrepreneurship. And the one thing I really admire about you is that, you don't just implement the business aspect to life. You understand that how you do anything is how you do everything. So you have to make sure that there's balance, and you have to identify with the spiritual, the emotional, the financial, and the physical aspect of life, and they have to be aligned to give you the quality of life that you want to live. So me and you both have agreed on that prior to being on this show. So I want to bring that to the forefront in our conversation, because being an entrepreneur is not just about business, it's a lifestyle. And a lot of people think that they want to be an entrepreneur, but they have no idea the work that we put in, because some people are just graceful and they're made for it, and they make it look a whole lot easier than what it really is. So we want to kind of touch on some pointers on what is the true definition of entrepreneurship and being an entrepreneur to you.
I love the question. And for me, and when I've done workshops before, I've told other individuals, is there's two types of people who attempt to be an entrepreneur. One attempts to be an entrepreneur because they want to make a whole lot of profit. I want to be an entrepreneur. I have this idea, this game plan in my head. I got this idea I've been thinking about for a long time, and I'm going to make all this money. And then there's another entrepreneur who says, I really want to impact lives and I want to make money, right? And typically the one who decides that they want to impact lives, they typically have passion for what they're doing. I always say the true definition of an entrepreneur is a person who has passion for what they're doing, and they're going to earn money doing that. Because typically, as yourself, Demetrius, I can feel, and I think when we first met, the spirit that you had in terms of entrepreneurship. I am going to make it happen. I am not minimized. I'm maximized, right? It is infinite for me. The creativity flows. Entrepreneurs have all of those tools, right? And they lean towards all of those tools because they are necessary for us to get to the next level, right? For us to be profitable, for us to be even attractive. Who wants to follow a poor entrepreneur?
Right.
But the true definition for me of an entrepreneur is a person who awakens in the morning with a passion to make humanity better, but earns a profit at the same time. And the reason you keep
I want to touch on something you said. I don't want to miss it. Okay. You said that your why in being an entrepreneur is super important, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if a person gets up in the morning and they want to just make money, that's one thing. But if you want to make money and you want to make an impact, that's something totally different. I want to ask you a question concerning the part about making an impact. What are some of the struggles that the entrepreneur have to experience in being on the quest to make an impact? Because I know for me, it's not been easy to get people to see the vision that I have. And people are so money driven that they miss the integrity in doing what it takes to make an opportunity or idea successful by doing the work and being able to be a legitimate partnership, with the integrity piece being at the forefront. Basically what I'm saying is I've lost a lot, Ms. Lela. I've lost a lot of money. I've been hurt by a lot of partnerships. I've been misrepresented in the public on what part I played in the deal. To be honest with you, I've even lost my freedom behind this type of behavior. So there's a very thin line between, integrity, your why, because you can line yourself up with the wrong person and you think you ain't been with someone that's aligned with you. And then you come to find out when the money comes to the table that this person is not really aligned with your mission and your purpose in this deal. So I want you to speak a little bit on that, because a lot of entrepreneurs that are listening right now, they feel just like me. They're trying to figure out, man, how do I keep on getting that part wrong? I've been in the game long enough now where I shouldn't be making those type of mistakes when it comes to matters of spirit or discernment. But I think that what I had to learn how to do was slow down a little bit and kind of increase my integrity on my qualifying process. So, but I want you to speak a little bit on that. Have you experienced those type of situations, and how did you fix that?
Very much so. And I think, yes, I have experienced the same thing as well. And so I don't want you to think that me and my team have not went through some of the struggles that you're talking about or other people. I like to talk about the realities that we live in. And one is that when you talk about a culture that has been fragmented for hundreds and hundreds of years, a culture that has been taught not to work together, but to steal from one another, a culture that is fed every day scandal and all of these movies where we're backstabbing, we're cheating, and we're stealing from one another. And we consume this. This is food. We just talked about symmetry, right? We just talked about balance. We talked about living a life that is fruitful. But when we digest and consume all of this illness, right, into our spirits, we will exemplify that not only in our personal life, because if it's in our personal life, it's going to be in your business life as well. You mentioned the word that you had to slow down. That is the core lesson that we had to learn, was to slow down. And I also had to learn that not everybody is for you in terms of matching in your energy, or not everybody is supposed to be on your path. And so as a African-American, sometimes we are novice. When I first started, you become a novice in terms of, I want to partner with every African-American that I see because we can sit at the table and we can get to the next level, right? But the energy is different. They're clandestine spirits, they're nefarious, and we don't know until we have these experiences. And so I've learned to be more patient. I've learned to listen, observe. I've learned to really, really listen. But more than that, I look for people who have a liked and shared ideology that I have, and some of the traits that we have. And so when we actually began to forge Village Action Network, moving from Operation Unification, in which what we did all of our development, to VAN, that is a conglomerate of 4 different entities, 4 African-American entities coming together as a powerhouse. But we have been friends and known each other for almost 15, 20 years. So in essence, what happens to us is that we have to factor that we are not a healed people, a healed culture. We are not. We are sometimes looking for the easy way out and the scheme of life. But I also am a very spiritual person. And I believe that God will place the right people on your path. He will give you the right relationships. And sometimes even when we're moving into a business deal and it doesn't work out, or you right at that particular moment, in that instance, you see the shady side or nefarious side of an individual, I always now look at that as not a negative. Thank you, God. Thank you for showing up right on time for me, right? Because I don't get back stuck into that. So I understand what you're saying in terms of being able to collaborate or to find business partners or to bring people along who are not clandestine or who are not doing all these unconscionable things or having these ideas that work against you. Because again, we are a sick people, right? And so when I look at Mr. Early, I'm like, man, Mr. Early got it going on with his office. Let me see how I can get a couple dollars from Mr. Early. Let me see how I can scheme. Well, because it's easier to do that than to say, let me learn from Mr. Early. I wonder if he's willing to teach me and open my hand. So I would say, because I think you really answered your question when you said to me, and I heard the word you said, I have to slow down and we have to be still. And God will bring that to culminate, even the way you and I met, right? Just simply magic. Just simply magic. And when you and I met, I think it was one of those things where we both were saying, hey, this person has a lot of my characteristics and attributes. This person is an actual born entrepreneur. This person understands it. This person is impacting lives, not in the manner that I'm doing it, in a whole nother manner, but at the end of the road and at the end, we're in the same spot. We end up in the same spot going down that journey. And so there's a lot of us out there, right? We have to allow the universe to bring us together so we can do that collective work. And so I think the mere fact that you and I are having this conversation is a part of that blessing that God brings along and on the journey for us to do that.
Thank you so much for the answer. So listen, I am yours truly, Demetrius Early. I want to let you guys, catch you guys up a little bit. We're talking to Ms. Lela Harvey. For those of you who are just tuning in, I am your motivator, your coach, your entrepreneur, your mentor. And tonight we're having a topic. We're talking about, man, what is it to be an entrepreneur? And we're talking about entrepreneurship because there are so many people right now that are jumping out and getting into business. They don't have any idea. A lot of us don't have an idea about what does it really take as an individual to be able to handle all the challenges that we have as entrepreneurs as well. So listen, if you want to check me out, we have a radio broadcast, my wife and I, called Make Me Moment Empowerment. It's our nonprofit organization. We do a radio talk show every Sunday morning at 11 a.m. on 102.9 FM radio. Okay. We also, and we have public speaking. We actually, you can book me. You can go on theearlyexperience.com and book me for public speaking. We also, you can follow me on social media on Facebook at The Early Experience, Instagram at The Early Experience, Twitter at Demetrius_Early, YouTube Demetrius Early, TikTok at The Early Experience, LinkedIn Demetrius Early. Now, our website again is theearlyexperience.com. So hey, I also have a book. I'm an author. I'm a best-selling author. I'm a co-author with Brian Tracy, book called Driven. I am driven. I so much I want to do, and I want to help you do to get to your next level. So please go on the site, check it out, check me out, follow me, like, share, tag. Hey, let's make this a reality for all of us to be able to be more successful and help each other get to that next level. So please follow me on social media and type your email into the chat if you want to win the Cash App giveaway this evening. Okay. And so we're going to get back to Miss Lela Harvey. Okay. She is so phenomenal. She's doing some wonderful things. And she's a CEO of Village Action Network. So Ms. Lela, I want to ask you another question. What is your initiative right now? If you're talking to the world right now and you want people to know what Village Action Network is doing right now and how can they get in contact with you and collaborate with you if possible, what does that look like? What do you guys do to help people better what your community is and help them better their community? Tell me what you do when it comes to that regard.
So initially, as I spoke about, we would take a single mother who works 3 part-time jobs and place her into homes. To date, we've placed 168 families into home ownership opportunities. And when I say homes, I'm talking about homes that I will lay my head on. And I'm a very picky, and you can call me bougie if you want to. I'm okay with that.
You're very classy.
but placing them into homes. And when I talk about that, I talk about affordable homes, right? Safe and affordable homes. And that's the word that we actually have coined, is safe and affordable homes in distressed communities. One of the reasons why I say that is I go back to the word gentrification, is that many of the areas that we live in are being gentrified. And typically when you gentrify the place, you take a community and you bring it to middle class. But typically what happens is the individuals who live there are displaced. They're either put into inadequate apartments or either into what we call projects or just moved out. For melanated people all across America, we have actually been displaced for so many times. You know, you go through from the Great Depression from slavery all the way to today. And you can find there's always the 2007 housing collapse. Just you can name all of these distressed areas. The 1969 Highway Act that dismantled all of the wealth that African Americans had all across the country. When we talk about that, we talk about now, how do we get these families? So if you want to know what I really do, how do I take families in distressed communities and give them a part of the American dream? And so I also have to work with financial institutions because of subprime lending, predatory lending, and also redlining, right? And also just blatant refusal to give a melanated person a loan. And so I've pushed and went into financial institutions, ensuring that they had the lowest down payment, ensuring that they had the lowest interest rate, ensuring that no matter what happened, this man and this woman, even if they lost their jobs, they could gather bottles and they could pay their mortgage with its stability. Because again, I say poor people can't afford rent. And so if anybody,
you know, I'm saying something. Listen, I gotta stop you right there because I'm so excited about what you're saying because it really lines up with what we do, right? So we're employing people to be educated about how to establish the proper credit score, because the proper credit score gives you the ability to be able to get the proper interest rates, which saves you thousands of dollars that you don't pay attention to over time when you buying a home or you affording a home. And most people can't even get into a home because their credit is not where it needs to be. So not only do we want to help you get your credit score where it needs to be, but we also believe that we have to make sure that you're educated and your mindset is changing with the score, right? So once we change the mindset and we get you to a position where you understand how the credit profile is supposed to look, then you have the ability to be able to get in the game and play the game. And that way we can empower our communities and we can have individuals be able to afford to live the life they want to live because their dollar is more valuable now because their interest rates are lower and they have a good credit score to be able to implement that. So I'm so excited that you're doing what you're doing. And I share in your sentiment to be able to
And that's
educate
just the
our
start
community.
of it too. Because for
Absolutely.
a lot of impoverished families or families who's on the cusp of making $40,000 or $50,000, when you look back in history, a home ownership is really the only opportunity of wealth that we have to pass down. We really never got into bonds and stocks because we could not afford those. We just could not afford those. And if you look at today in comparison to 2007, and you go back to 1999, the wealth gap for African Americans in comparison to whites have gotten even wider. And so
Absolutely.
when you're talking about getting people credit worthy, right, which we did when we did this, we almost served like Myers when we did it, right?
Mhm.
Because I would not even allow a person to move into my home if they did not take the necessary classes, because what I wanted them to understand was not just you obtaining a mortgage, right? Because any person that I put in a home, they can sit down and tell you how to obtain a mortgage because I made sure they understood that, because knowledge is power. But also, one of the things that we were key on was the upkeep of the home. Why? Because it actually affects the appraisal values of the whole neighborhood. And so we would do what we call targeted site areas, because when you go in to revamp a community or to give people an opportunity at home ownership, especially in redlining areas or distressed areas, most people don't live in affluent areas. And so we have to understand that those individuals who don't live in affluent areas, typically their financial institutions and many of the banks around them, they are big in redlining and predatory lending and marginalizing melanated people. And so our job was to go in and tear down those barriers in so much that sometimes we would become the bank. And we've had nothing but positive outcomes in terms of doing that. But we went to the next level, and I'll just say this and close out in terms of this question, is that it wasn't enough just to put them into home ownership. Now we have written a comprehensive plan, which is a 20-year plan to allow the whole economic development of the northern end, where African Americans have been pushed and marginalized, to bring them up almost like to a Harlem Renaissance. And that's what we're doing in the community. But our plan is to serve as a consultant and do this all over the country.
So please like, share, and
Areas.
comment. So Ms. Lela, if somebody wanted to be a part of your initiative, is there room for anybody to come to the table to help out in this measure, or is there anything that you need?
They could actually give me a call. Let me give you my office line, which is 810-787-3668. Again, that's 810-787-3668. And what I like to talk about is not necessarily partnerships, but serving as a consultant for people in the area that they're in, right? Because
Absolutely.
we can't take our organization and stretch it all over America, because we would be thin. But what we can do and what we do is we take people and individuals and we help to massage them to get them started in their own community, impacting their own community and changing the minds.
Well, I tell you, I'm the first in line because I want to make an impact in a few communities that I've been a part of. And what you guys are doing as an initiative, the connections that you've acquired, the experience you have over the last 20 plus years, I'm super excited about learning as much as I can, because the one thing I had to learn about being an entrepreneur is where I want to make this point, since we're talking about entrepreneurship. It's very important that as much as I teach and mentor other people, that I'm always the student. So just being lined up with phenomenal people like yourself, it really does elevate me to other levels. And so I do believe in building great relationships, and I'm super excited that I've been blessed to meet you, and what you guys are doing, and you and your team are phenomenal. Y'all doing phenomenal things, and you are proof that we can work together and we can put initiatives together to help our community the way that we need to help our communities, because nobody's going to do it and we don't do it for ourselves. So I'm super excited to be able to get to know you a little bit better and help you push this initiative across the globe, because we all need it. Everywhere you go needs
everywhere you go.
Everywhere you go, we need to financially
literacy. We need to get our people mentally in tune with what's going on in our community and come up with the solutions to the problems instead of always rehearsing the problems, right? That's not going to be any help to us in our future.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I want to get to the next question though. My next question is, and I want you to sum this up maybe like in 2 minutes, and then we're going to move on to our next question. What is the life of an entrepreneur from Lela Harvey's perspective?
Ooh, the life of an entrepreneur is they get up earlier than everybody else.
Give me a time.
Sometimes 5 o'clock. There has been times 4 o'clock. And we leave the latter part. The life of an entrepreneur is, regardless of who shows up and what needs to be done, we're going to make it happen because we are the entrepreneur. No matter who's on our team, it has to be done. We believe in integrity. We believe in quality. And so the life of an entrepreneur stretches. The life of an entrepreneur is the direct mirroring of who an individual actually is, because who you are in your personal life, you bring that ideology to your board. Your policies and compliances are set based on your ideologies, your character, and your foundation. And so the life of an entrepreneur is, for me, again, I go back to having that passion to do that thing. And here's why. When it all went wrong for Lela McGee-Harvey, and it went wrong for Donnell, because I got caught, because God took me off my path to fight a system. And Donnell, when it got hard for you, you never gave up. Why? Because it was your passion. Even when the money wasn't going in, you didn't go out and get this job. You didn't go over to McDonald's. You didn't, because you had a passion to stay there and make it happen. That's why I always talk about passion. If you have a passion for what you're doing, you're going to be successful.
Hey, tag entrepreneurs that needs to hear this, okay? Because guess what? We're talking about entrepreneurship, and everybody think they have what it takes. But the reality is you can learn anything, but how you do anything is how you do everything. So it's a lifestyle. And that's what we're talking about this evening. We have Lela Harvey with us, and I'm super excited to have her here. Listen, I'm yours truly, Demetrius Early. Follow me on social media. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Twitter. Follow me on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, LinkedIn. I'm at The Early Experience. You also have me on Twitter at Demetrius Early, under Demetrius_Early. Then you got YouTube, Demetrius Early. You got LinkedIn, Demetrius Early. You got TikTok at The Early Experience. And our website is theearlyexperience.com. And tonight we're talking about entrepreneurship. So, Lela, I got another question for you. You ready? This is going to be a good one. And I want to know the answer to this one because I'm telling you, I want to be like you in my community. I want to be able to make an impact in my community and be able to say my legacy is already established. I have my own bank. We have our own money. And we're able to give people the ability to be able to be educated and motivate them to get educated by giving them access to a better quality of life. So what motivates you for success?
And let me say the success for everybody is sort of different. But what motivates me for success is not only being profit driven, but conquering, creating the idea that the divine has given to me. We have this thing that we say is that if we can see it, if we can perceive it, then we can get there. Our greatest challenge is how do we get there? And so for me, the success portion comes from, and I keep going back to my word, is the passion that I have to make better humanity. On that road of impacting and changing lives, and that's the most successful story I can have, is because leaders create leaders, right? There's no such thing as me being a leader, and when you look behind me, there are no more leaders.
Right.
That's not what this is about. Success to me is about me having the courage, me drowning my ego, me pushing out the noise and the rain, and bringing others along with the same spirit, the same drive, having the same energy, the fortitude, and having the same belief that they can. They have to believe it. And so I say success for me and success for other people will be different, but to be able to impact lives, to have written back in 2003 in my journal, because I'm a journal, I journal a lot, in my journal, that I will have all of the resources I need to impact as many human beings as I want. And it comes into fruition, not because I was necessarily chasing just the profit and the money, but because I was doing the assignment of God, which is the success of me and the success that I chase, which is impacting lives, being a lamppost for those who cannot see.
All right, 2 minutes. How do you empower others?
One of the things I would say is by being an example, right? One of the things that, and I always raise my kids on, and they will tell you, is I never said, let me tell you what you need to do. I was always the example. Even in business, I'm always the example. I'm not going to ask you to do anything I wouldn't do or haven't done. I'm not going to put standards on you that I don't hold to myself, right? Because for me, in the belief of being the lamppost for individuals, taking them to the next level. And so when I walk into a room and the energy, because I like to set the temperature when I walk in a room. So this is the soft side of me, right? I will walk in the room and I'm going to change the temperature. And typically when I change the temperature, most people will acclimate, even if they're in a bad mood, because I always tell people, you're not going to vomit on me this morning. I just don't believe in it. You're not bringing that to me, right? And we're going to have a upbeat energy. We know success is inevitable because we're infinite beings. We're creative beings that can do all things. I don't believe in, I don't think so. I know. I say I'm going to do it. I know I'm going to do it.
We don't
it's
try.
A matter of the alignment. It's a matter of the alignment.
We don't try. We don't can't.
That's right. That's right.
We're
That's
going to do it or we're not going to do it, right?
That's right. And then one of the things that I think you and we talked about is, and if I could tell anybody who's listening, no matter what you have done, no matter how many times you have started, there is no such thing as failure. There are only experiences and false starts because you didn't learn the lesson. But there's no such thing as failure. And we've been taught that there's failure and you failed and you're no good. And because this didn't work out, no, it meant that you didn't learn enough. Go back. False starts are okay. And so when you carry the burden of being.
We got to get some questions up in here. So listen, so we almost there. So listen, guys, if you're out there right now and you want, listen, this phenomenal entrepreneur, she is doing phenomenal things. No such things as failure, just experiences and false starts. That's powerful, Lela. That's a Lela quote. Y'all better write that down. Put your pen and pad together. And so if you have any questions right now, please take time out now, put it in the chat and ask your question. Now's the time to ask your questions. Any questions? In the meantime, while you're doing that, we're going to put in the email and see who's going to win the Cash App giveaway this evening. Drum rolls, please. Boom, 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 boom. Hey, who's the winner for the Cash App giveaway? So we got two things going on. We're going to ask some questions and we're going to put our email in there so we can do a drawing for who wins the Cash App giveaway this evening on the DL Experience virtual show. So while they're doing that, Ms. Lela, I want to say to you in response to what you just said, it's almost like it's a blessing when you can collaborate with people that, you know, I'm always praying. I get up in the morning. This is my success, my success journey that I live on a daily basis. I get up at 4:30 in the morning. I meditate for about 20 minutes, right? And in my meditation, I'm asking the universe to give me the things that I need to bring to the community that I'm going to be a part of for that day. I'm always seeking to be a blessing to someone else. Right, I've learned that's what the ticket to success really is to me, is to be able to be a blessing to someone else, because what you put out comes back to you. And what you're seeking, whatever you're seeking is seeking you. So I meditate in the morning on that, and then I write out my goals on what I want to accomplish in that day and how I want to be a blessing to other people. And I keep my mind open to that. And then I ask God to show me, hey, listen, show me the right people today. You know what I mean? Don't let me miss the opportunity, and let me be prepared to be able to give what you called me to give in that moment. And I also I meditate on the moments, right? I want to make sure I embrace the moments that I live in my life. So after I get up, after my meditation, say my prayers, I work out. While I'm working out, I'm listening to a positive word. I'm either on YouTube or I have a Headway app that I can listen to books, and it summarizes the books in 15 minutes. So you might want to download Headway. It's a phenomenal tool. So I'm working out, I'm listening to my book. I'm listening to my YouTube. I'm listening to some positive, some empowering. Then after I finish doing it, I do a post. I do a positive post myself to give something to the community on what I got from it. I have to share it with somebody. That's just who I am. Then after I finish that, I spend about 3.5 to 4 hours every morning just for me. And that's what I want to drive home. In the morning time is a very key time to be able to get time in with God and get time to pour into you so that you can have something to give to other people as you progress through your day. And then I write out my game plan for that day and I ask God to bless it. I leave room for God to change some of it. That's fine. And then, but I'm going to accomplish my goal. I'm not going to go to bed until I accomplish my goal. So you have to hit your goals, guys. You have to set realistic goals, right? And you have to do the little things right every day over and over again until they become something that is okay. So it's very amazing that we got a question. Demetrius Jr., that's my son. Is the mindset the most important aspect of entrepreneurship, Ms. Lela?
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt. And I will go even further. The heart chakra is as well, because I believe in symmetry. One of the things I just was floored about when you just mentioned that when you are in benediction and you're calling on the universe and you're in meditation, we call that breakfast, right? We call that breakfast early in the morning. And it's how you set the tone for your day with the entrepreneurship. And a lot of people believe that you just roll out of bed at the last minute, you click your shoes on and you run out the door and you're ready. You're not. You have to be started, ready, mentally, physically, putting the right foods in your body that morning. As you were saying, getting the exercise in. I exercise in the evening. I don't in the morning, but I do in the evening. But in the morning, the benediction, when I awaken, I tell people, if I could tell you anything, as soon as I open my eyes, I look to the left, my husband is there, and the first thing I say is thank you. I give so much gratitude. The universe and God is so appreciative of the gratitude that you give in the morning. That helps to set the day, whole paradigm. Absolutely. So yes, mindset is important to entrepreneurship, but it must be in sync with the heart chakras, the spirituality, because all of that will encompass every decision that you make. And remember, even though business and your personal life are two separate aspects, the mindset that you have in your personal life is the same mindset that you will bring into your business.
Listen, we got a question from Ivy Woodard that is so amazing. How can you best support a relationship partner while they are exploring entrepreneurship? Let me tell you something. I wish my wife can answer that for you, but she's not on with us this evening. Ivy, God bless you. But let me tell you something. The best thing you can do, and from my perspective as an entrepreneur, being married to someone who's also an entrepreneur, even in that, when you are, it depends on what type of entrepreneur are you, because some people have a company to back them up. But when you're the foundation and you're the founder and the creator of your opportunity, and you have to knock the door down and kick it down and bust it open at the same time, like I do, sometimes, my wife is kind of trying to figure out, why do you make the decision that you make? So the best way to support that individual is to get involved in the conversation and ask the right questions to understand, have them recite the answers back to you, but hold them accountable and agree or don't agree, but hold them accountable to what you guys agree on. Because I think that what we need more than anything in our support system is to be heard, right? Mm-hmm. And then we need to know what your thoughts are about what we're saying. Don't just be on the surface and hear what I say, but then don't respond based on what you really heard and how you really feel about what you heard. Let's discuss these things and let's talk about them, and let's create a timeline and a time daily that we can have a discussion about your input to help me make the decisions I need to make, because it's going to affect you ultimately when you're a partner. So yeah. I'm going to let Ms.
And I like to follow up with it too, that's a very profound question. And in my experiences is that it's important to set boundaries and a timeline, right? Because we want to encourage people to dream and to even be an entrepreneur. But I think when it comes to marriage, there has to be boundaries that you're willing to stay within, whether they're economical, whether it's time that you're away from home or whatever. And when you can stay within those boundaries, and you guys can agree on those boundaries and you stay within them, then that helpmate, which I call helpmeet can help get you there. But I think a lot of times what happens is that there is no conversation, as you said, you indicated. This person just wants to be an entrepreneur. Now, I want to say this too, is that, with your partner being an entrepreneur, you have to make sure you're holding them accountable. Because I'm not talking about an entrepreneur who laying on the couch saying, I got a dream that I'm going to do something. They got to get up and show you progress. And that's right. That's part of the boundaries to show you and give you the security and the affirmation that you need that they're moving towards that goal. Because some people will just lay around like, oh yeah, I got this idea, but I missed the meeting today and I didn't show up, or this is not going. So if you can set and scale it out in terms of a timeline, putting the boundaries together that you both live by economically and whatever, you guys will be fine. You'll be fine.
Hey, we got 2 minutes left, Lela. Thank you so much for being on board with us tonight. You're amazing. You're phenomenal. Can't wait to work with you and do some projects so we can help people everywhere understand how to make an impact in their communities the way you guys are doing in Flint, Michigan. And send a shout out to Flint, Michigan for lending Ms. Lela to us in the building. And man, I'm yours truly, Demetrius Earl from Shreveport, Louisiana, by way of Houston, Texas. I love Texas as well. And man, we're doing some great things, phenomenal things. I want to answer a question before we get out of here. What are some good books? The book that I'm reading right now is called Slight Edge. So look that up. It's a very powerful book. It's talking about how to do the hows. It's one thing we tell you how to do something, but how well you do those hows determines how successful you are. And so it gives you some real good philosophy and principles on how to change your mindset and change your philosophy, because you change your philosophy and your mindset, you change your life. So it's very important that we read at least 30 minutes a day, preferably an hour a day, but I do 30 minutes in the morning. I've got to tell you that part about my ritual in the morning as well, once I finish my workout and get dressed. So we have to read at least 30 minutes, okay? We have to always become a student, and we have to always be grateful. Thanks so much for that, Lela. And listen, you're phenomenal. I'm super excited. I guess we didn't have anybody put nothing in the email on to win the cash giveaway. We got about 2 minutes left. You want to say anything before you get out of here, Ms. Lela?
Well, the reason why I think that we, in terms of what you just mentioned and your son mentioned about everything is mindset. Everything is symmetry. Everything, if you can change that mindset, you can change that energy, and you have that passion, there's nothing in your way. You can go.
So listen, hey, go to drlexperience.com, like, share, comment, tag, share it with somebody. There's some entrepreneurs out there that need to know better about us. Hey, if you want to hit me up at info@drlexperience.com, or you also can call me at 1-888-276-7696. I am your mentor, your coach. I can help you get to your next level. Give me an opportunity to show you how I can do it. I'll show you how I can do it. And I'm really good at how to do my house. So I'm excited about that, guys. So hey, let's partner up. Let's work together. And again, Ms. Lela, thank you so much for being here with us tonight. You're awesome.
Gratitude.
Thank you for having me. God bless you, sister. Hey, guys, y'all have a wonderful evening. Hey, this is DRL Experience. Love y'all. Peace.